Friday, March the 6th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. Cold air back in place here across the region. There's a live look as I'm cutting this video during the 5 o'clock hour from Banner Elk, courtesy of ResortCams.com. Check out this temperature, 7 degrees. Arctic air back with us here across the region. All you have to do is step outside. You can feel the big change in temperatures. There's your 24-hour temperature change map across the eastern U.S. New Orleans, almost 40 degrees colder now compared to the 5 o'clock Eastern time hour on Thursday morning. And those big temperature swings have occurred all across the eastern part of the country. Specifically here in the Carolinas, some big numbers in terms of those temperature changes. 36 degrees colder in Charlotte, 30-plus degrees colder in the mountains, and out in the many spots in the Piedmont, too. So it is sharply colder out there this morning. There are the actual 5 o'clock hour temperatures. Pretty cold out there. Boone at 15, Cape Hatteras below freezing. It's just above freezing in Wilmington, 39 down in Columbia, 27 in Charlotte, 23 in Greensboro. So this previous system that brought a lot of rain across the region yesterday, that has departed. High pressure building in, the sky clearing in many spots. And this is what the radar looked like throughout the day yesterday. You notice that eventually, right at the tail end of the system, you did see a few sleet pellets try to work into the region. But, you know, as we were kind of discussing yesterday, this was a scenario where you had the departing precipitation kind of racing the incoming cold air. And many, many times that just doesn't work out east of the mountains here where we are. And most of us simply did not see any significant wintry precip. Now, that was not the case just off to the north. Look up here in Virginia. Let me run this through one more time and look at all the wintry precip that occurred as we got deeper into the day yesterday up that way. It was a significant winter storm for a lot of folks, and I'll show you the current snow cover here in just a second. Currently, it is quiet now across the region, and again, that high pressure delivering some pretty quiet weather, the sky clearing, and a lot of sunshine on the way over the next couple of days. It was a pretty good rain producer, though. These are the rain totals yesterday around the Triad viewing area. Up over an inch in Burlington and Lexington, close to an inch in Greensboro, and some pretty good numbers in parts of the Charlotte area too. Over an inch in Statesville and Hickory, half inch or so right around a good chunk of the viewing area there around the Charlotte area. And we do have a winter weather advisory still in effect this morning for the potential of a few slick spots on area roads. A lot of the roads are dry, but could be an icy spot or two here or there, so just use some caution as you go through your Friday morning routine. All right, this is the current analysis of snow cover. Not a lot. Now, there's a little delay in this actually getting into the system, but this is the basic idea here. Look at all this big-time snow that is on the ground from parts of Texas and Oklahoma, northeast. Look at the big totals there for Memphis up through much of Kentucky and northeastern Arkansas into the Ohio River Valley, and then tons of snow on the ground through all of the northeastern parts of the United States. Again, though, pretty nice weather, although cold today. High pressure working in, and we'll see highs. Whoop, didn't update those numbers, so that is not correct. Hang on, I'll get that fixed for you. All right, there you go. There's the correct numbers for today. Pretty chilly day across the region, but as we get on into the weekend, nice warming trend gets underway. High pressure along the Gulf Coast. The flow of winds becoming more of a westerly direction, so pretty good warm-up coming. Here's your Saturday highs around the region, looking pretty good, and then even warmer for Sunday. Some clouds try to work in as we get toward later in the day Sunday, but still a pretty good-looking weather setup for us. There's a peek at your Sunday highs, looking pretty good across the region. Now, a little snapshot of our pattern for next week. Here's our weekend setup, and again, at that point in time, we're looking at this westerly flow bringing in some warmer temperatures here. But watch what happens as we get toward really a good chunk of next work week. You're left with this troughing in place over the plain states, and that is really opening up the Gulf of Mexico to bring storm systems our way in occasional fashion. So just take a look at the European model as you go through the work week next week. You notice a lot of clouds around and occasional rounds of rain. All right, so let's get into the more detailed modeling on a few items here. This is look at the high temperatures on your Saturday afternoon. From the GFS model, you notice all those 50s creeping back in. So cold day today, but nice warm up on the way over the weekend. Now this is a snapshot from the 0Z run of the GFS valid Monday morning. And the European model is on board with this general scenario too, and bringing in a little bit of light rain Sunday night into Monday morning. And that's kind of the beginning of this fairly wet, not really, wet's not the right word, but a pattern next week that features a lot of clouds and occasional rain chances. This is Monday evening, and then we go out to Tuesday morning. A lot of rain across the region, low pressure popping near the Carolina coast as we get through the day Tuesday. And so really every model that, at least of the major models, is on board with a pretty wet scenario anywhere from later Monday night into Tuesday around the Carolinas. We get out to later in the week. Now this is Friday. Just wanted to show you kind of an interesting weather setup here. You notice pretty good cold air damming signature there from this area of high pressure over the upstate of New York. And again, most of the models are on board with this basic scenario too. Now it doesn't get cold enough for wintry precip, but that could set us up for a cool and rainy scenario toward the tail end of next week. There's the Canadian model for Tuesday's system that I mentioned, and then there's a look again at Sunday morning of next weekend. So this is 8-9 days away, but you see the idea, that wedge in place, and we'll kind of see how that unfolds. And just real quick, one snapshot here. This is a look from the GEFS, basically the GFS ensemble mean here of the 2-meter high and low temperatures. I just pulled Greensboro's data here, and you notice these are your high temperatures over the next week or so, and the green bars, those are your low temperatures. And so you're looking at on average on the ensemble mean here a lot of above freezing lows once we get past Saturday night, or I should say Friday night really in some spots. And then we're looking at certainly highs, not overly warm or overly cold, but a lot of 50s, maybe some low 60s here and there. All right, that is it for today's edition of the video. Everybody have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend, and God bless.